one of the most consistent areas candidates point out to us where they need help is they never show how to engage the interviewer to collect information. They don't know whether they're being needy when they ask for too much information. They don't know when to ask for information. They don't know when the interviewer has a higher propensity to share information. And they basically don't know how to, collect information, use it, collect more information, use it to develop the case. So what I'm going to introduce is a very simple technique that we guide our candidates to use. It's basically painfully obvious, but I think it's something that needs to be verbalized for people to see how it can be used. We call it the Barter system. And basically what the Barter system works on is the principle that if you collect something from the interviewer, you have to give them something in return, and vice versa. So let me give you an example of this, right? Let's assume that we're in the beginning of the case and we're using our BCG style approach, and you've asked the interviewer some clarifying questions. So the interviewer has given you the answers. Now you've got to offer the interviewer something in return. You cannot offer the interviewer more questions because then you're simply taking more things from the interviewer, and that's just bad household manners. So if you ask for a cluster of information from the interviewer, you need to offer something in return, like your structure, like your key question, like an insight that you generated from the information they offered you, which allows you to move the case forward. Once you then offer something, which is either your insight or your structure or the way you're going to move the case forward, then you can say, okay, I want to move the case forward from this step to the next step. Do you have any information about that? Okay, now that you've offered something to the interviewer is going to barter that by offering you more information. It's a very, very simple concept. I mean, it's probably one of the shortest podcasts we're going to generate, but always remember this concept of bartering. You must offer the interviewer something if you want to get something in return. As long as you follow that principle, you will be fine. What you should never do is ask a lot of information, take it, think about it, and then ask a lot of information. You're breaking the rule of bartering. In the rule of bartering, you are swapping. You are offering your insight, your structure, and moving the case forward in exchange for the interviewer offering you information and guiding you in your thinking. As long as you follow this barter principle, you'll be fine. Simple principle, right? Really simple. And if you're worried about how much should you offer or how much should you ask, I would say that you want to ask questions like, I have 4 clarifying questions, or something along the lines of, can you tell me a little bit about the retail structure of this company? That's acceptable amount of information you could ask. Then you would say, okay, thank you so much for that information. This is what I would do with it. I would break down my analysis and focus on revenue for these reasons. Once you've offered that, you could then barter for more information. So very simple concept. I use it extensively with candidates, and I always tell them you want to barter with me. This is a trade. Offer me something, I'll give you something else. Offer me nothing, I'm going to give you nothing in return.